Hi, today we have Patricia Pinzón, a representative of Conservatorio, a certified B corporation with 20 years experience in urban development in Casco Viejo, Panama. It's a model studied by MIT and Oxford. Patricia, welcome to Global Real Estate Spotlight. We're going to talk about Gran Central District, 5 buildings, 1 address, and an investment thesis ranging from 5% annual yield, long-term rentals, to short-term rentals projecting 6 to 8% in US dollars. Since Panama deals in US dollars, you don't have to be exchanging currencies. Welcome to the show, Patricia. Let's start with the big picture.
Gracias, Hugo, for the invitation. Excited
Glad
to be
to have
here.
you on board. Yes, thank you. So tell me, why Panama? I hear it's like the Singapore of Latin America. Can you tell me more about that?
Well, and not only like the Singapore, but it is almost like 7 different countries inside one. We have
Oh, wow.
areas that look like Cuba, mountains. Some people would say some of our areas look like Tuscany. 7 different indigenous traditions and cultures in Panama. There are areas that look like the Maldives, and there are areas that look like the Caribbean. So we are many in one.
I see that. I saw that on Forbes, and Panama seems like a great fit for a lot of people. Question, besides having a fast-growing economy and being hurricane-free, what makes Panama such a powerful magnet for expats and investors right now?
Our geography is quite special. It makes us, everybody knows about the Panama Canal, right? But we're here because of our geography. So we're also the most connected hub. We're called the hub of the Americas. And we have over 80 direct flights to the world. So these
Wow.
allow people who come to Panama to live, whether you're from a multinational or you are a retiree, to live in Panama, but keep your life everywhere else and even get even more life by exploring the region, but basing from Panama.
Wow. So it sounds like it's a retiree lifestyle change. For those looking to relocate to Panama, what does it offer? And what is the pensionado program? It says huge discounts, like 50% in entertainment, 25% off of the airfare, 20% off of doctors. Sounds like too good to be true. How do these national
Uh,
benefits enhance the day-to-day lifestyle for someone moving from the US or Europe to Panama?
I'll tell you that I am personally jealous of the 20% discount in travel fares. So only because of that, I want to already retire in Panama. But also, you see, our climate is the same throughout the year. So the same temperature, sometimes you have more breeze, sometimes you have a little bit more rain. But for anybody looking to escape the winter or harsh climates, like as you said, hurricanes, Panama just simply doesn't get them. So pair that with the hub, the ability to move around, the great discounts, which will make your life quite efficient, and then
Mhm.
just the peace of mind of having a visa, residential visa, that is quite easy to obtain.
Hmm. It sounds amazing. That 20%, like you were saying, it's something to think about. And you represent Conservatorio, which is a certified B corporation with the 20 years experience. And you guys are revitalizing Casco Viejo with your unique approach on balancing purpose, profit, and it's been studied by huge universities. How does this philosophy shape your developments?
Everything, everything. And depending on the project, there are different things that make the Conservatorio seal. But you will notice that each one has a very special trait behind it. For example, in Santa Familia, which I've showed you before, That was a whole edge certified building. But for other projects, we work hand in hand with NGOs and even created programs to facilitate conversations in the community, leadership programs. So it's a very holistic and comprehensive way to see development. And that is why not only we're B certified, but these universities have paid attention. I think we're the only company in Panama that has had the opportunity and the blessing of being studied by such an amazing institutions.
And that's great. And it's not just any university, it's MIT and Oxford, which is great. Now, for those looking to relocate, and Panama seems to offer a lot of incredible pensionado program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The pensionado visa is the easiest visa. Once you have the main factor is that you have Social Security or a state pension program plan. I believe the minimum is $1,000 a month. So that opens up the doors for quite a number of pensionados to move. And that visa, you can get it 30 days, 60 days. So also it's a very fast visa. For those of you who are not there, then there are other two visas that are quite interesting and are the ones that most people are focusing on if you're not yet a retiree. You have the
Okay.
Friendly Nations visa and the Investor Qualified visa. And those are the visas that you get to back up by buying real estate. So you will have options at the Friendly Nations visa starting at 200,000 and the Investor Qualified visa starting at 300,000.
Hmm. That that makes it accessible to many people. That's very, very neat to hear. How do these you were mentioning the discount, and that's what attracted my attention as well, the many discounts that Panama offers. How do these benefits enhance the day-to-day lifestyle for someone moving to Panama?
I actually did a video for my channel, place commercial here on my YouTube channel,
Uh-huh.
on the cost of living in Panama. And I
Yeah.
went item by item. Now, I did it with the full price. When I ran my numbers using all the discounts and in the experience of my mother-in-law, who is now retired, very much retired, or so she
Okay.
says, the difference is incredible. I mean, there's a real premium. Imagine where basically your most important bills are discounted. Now, not only they're discounted, but especially for the retirees, medical is a big part of their lives.
Yes.
I'm I'm about to be 50. Medical is a big part of my life.
Yes. Yes, for all of us.
and,
Yes.
and I was making the calculation to have dental cleanings twice a year, see a specialist, and see once a year, and see your annual doctor. Pretty much you could get it done, I would say, and I'm trying to remember my numbers, the whole thing for under 350 a year. So you can have
350,000?
no $350. In fact,
$350? Wow.
the two clinics, your annual doctor to check on you, and a specialist, just because let's throw a specialist, why not? And I bet I can, depending on where you go, you can probably even reduce that number.
Wow. That's unheard of.
So, so Panama and oh, Panama has many of our doctors are U.S. trained, so
I
they'll
see.
speak English, and you'll be able to have very good medical services.
And it's so close. It sounds more attractive every day. And tell me,
Exactly.
Patricia, let's talk about your newest project, Gran Central. It says it's a uniquely situated project. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. As you know, we specialize in Casco Viejo or the historic district. So Casco Viejo is the colonial side of the historic district. We've been there for now 20 years. And now we're expanding to what used to be the entrance to the historic district. So
Okay.
there we're incredibly happy because being at the entrance, that means that we're exactly in the middle between the history and modernity. So we can
Oh,
offer you the historic grid, but with all the comforts of the modern world, which is a swan when it comes to historic districts around the world. It's very unique. What you see
wow.
here is the colonial district, and everything you see to the right is our work.
Oh, wow.
But but what you can see here also, there is no space for certain things of the modern world like parking, right?
Working. Mm-hmm.
So access and parking are challenges in every historic district I have been, every one of them. But in
I,
Gran
I,
Central, we were able to fix it. This is American Trade. This was the third hotel we restored. And here we created an event space and a restaurant and a jazz bar. So from Gran Central, walking, you are 10 minutes away from this. And yet
oh,
you can walk back and have a life with all the modern comforts. So the district is crafted to be the best of both worlds because you can walk everywhere, have an old school vintage lifestyle. You can walk to the farmers market, to the fish market, to the metro
mm,
station, and to Casco Viejo. And
that's very
then
neat.
enjoy everything and walk back. You don't need the car if you don't want to.
Oh,
Just like
wow.
times.
So it's 100% walkable, like an urban district that's 100% walkable. And it
Yes,
says on this project that you have five different buildings sharing one address. What's the vision
exactly.
behind it?
It's precisely to create a district where underground you're gonna have all the infrastructure of modern life, but on the top, you will have all the lessons learned from historic districts. So you have the walkability, you have the life of the plazas. The district has been also designed to be a green district, efficient not only on its use of electricity, water, energy, materials, but also the use of light and shade because we're in the tropics. A lot of light and it does get
Yeah.
hot.
Yes.
So it's made so to make your life very pleasant, to be a collection of streets and plazas that you can enjoy, you can go, or everything served with commercial spaces on the ground. So it's a true 10-minute district where you can find everything you need and then get on your elevator and go to your home or your investment apartment if you're visiting or living.
That's very neat. And let me ask you, you mentioned that there's stores down like at the bottom part, and then people live up above. So does that mean that people will have access to doctors and while it's walkable and everything is close?
Like a good old historic district, like the cheese guy and the coffee.
Yes.
Look
Oh,
at this.
wow. That's very
This is
neat.
how we used to live.
Yes, but we got away from it.
How
And
did that happen?
I don't know. And I saw in the picture that you guys have solar rooftops. So you guys are contributing to the environment. And how does that work?
Well, it's not only the fact of the solar. The solar is there as a part of a strategy, but it's
Okay.
also the design of the whole district, from water consumption to the materials that get used to the fact that you're creating a 10-minute walkable. Think of this photo. If you can live here and get, let's say, 70% of the things that you need in your life, walking here, walking there, as you say, the doctor, the coffee, the
Mhm.
clothing, your groceries, you're not getting in a car, you're not having emissions that are, just added on in our planet. You're just walking
Right.
around. Now you're also, your own health is better because not only you are exercising, but you're interacting with people. People get to know you by your name. Next thing you know, you have a community that already knows you. If you get a dog, pro tip, now you'll get many friends.
Okay.
And it's all
That's very,
embedded in what concept? It's how we used to live, but with a modern take.
that's super neat. And given that we were talking about the doctors and walking back and forth, it sounds like it's a vitality hub. Like you're adapting the country's healthcare to a system that could be, you know, some systems have a lot of laws and it's daunting, but it seems fascinating that you guys are creating everything into one. Is that you're making everybody's lifestyle much easier?
And you know what? I think we're particularly excited about this part because I guess it's mostly because we're now in our 50s and we're thinking about it
Yes.
all day. And we have read so much about the blue zones and tried to incorporate it. But this is the
Mhm.
thing, if it's not in the choreography of your life, it doesn't get incorporated. So if
Mm.
you want to have a life that has those elements of that are gonna make you live longer, like the blue zones, it has to be in the choreography of your life. So we introduce some of those principles back into what we're dreaming for this district. And you will see that we have alliances now with medicals, with wellness, with active, gyms. So you will see fitness, medical, and wellness tied up into the district. But the other elements are there too in order to live a long, happy life. What is it that everybody says? Community, connection, activity, and active life. And this allows you to do that.
That's very, very neat. And I was reading somewhere that within that, people have access because there's a lot of people that are retire and they're interested in moving to Panama. But with your vision, it says that you guys have 24-hour like a telehealth. Is that true? 24 hours they can reach out?
There is a fabulous partner that we're bringing on. And I tell you, because we have already tried it so many times, and they have been amazing. Inside what we're offering, you'll see on the medical side, you'll be able to have telemedicine. There is also, they can digitalize your records and keep them. They will essentially act as a medical concierge. So if you come to Panama to live, what do you do to find the right doctor? I'll tell you what people do, and this is crazy. People
Okay.
go into WhatsApp groups and people go into Facebook to figure
Yes.
out what cardiologist they should visit. For me,
Yes. It
that's
sounds
nuts.
crazy, but they do it.
It's
Yes.
nuts. Something
Yes.
as important as a cardiologist. You
Yes.
know,
So you guys took the time to study that and offer a better solution.
absolutely. Because you get in the shoes, and I have dealt with people, and my husband is an expat, my mother in law. You get in the shoes of trying to get to a country where maybe you don't speak the language, it's your first time.
Hmm.
medical is important to you, what do you do? So how do you
Exactly.
sift through and look for the best or what is the most tailored to you? It's
I
daunting.
think that's
So we're
incredible.
hoping to help there.
Yes, I think it's incredible what you guys are doing. And tell me, Gran Central has different buildings, and I was reading that you guys actually put some thought into each building on what and how you guys develop each building within your complex, for lack of a better term, because it's a huge place. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, absolutely. And that goes to the heart of everybody who comes has a particular idea of what would work for them.
Okay.
So our retirees are buying, for example, in La Union.
Okay.
La Union is residential and it has the most beautiful amenities. We were able to set a semi-Olympic pool on the top, 25
Semi-Olympic. Wow.
meters for swimming. So thinking always in that vitality, being longevity, being part of, like keeping everybody active. 25 meters so you can have your swim. The apartments are designed with a lock-off system. So what does that mean? People are telling me, I am not ready to retire,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to go to Panama 3 months a year, 5 months a year. And when I'm ready, I'm going to take over the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, usually people say, well, is this building Airbnbable? They're thinking per night. And I'm telling them,
Right.
look, if you're coming and this is going to be your place, how happy are you going to be when you finally move that your neighbors change every night?
Right.
So
Right.
when you think about it, when you really think about it, you're like, no, crazy. It's like, exactly. So this building will allow you flexibility of rentals, but not a per night because it's not made for that. It's made for community. It will allow you executive rentals, which means monthly rentals. And with this lock-off system, you can keep one bedroom for you. We have designed it so you can put a kitchenette and you can separate that and keep it for you. And when you come, finally, then you take over the rest of the apartment. So all that time you kept one bedroom for you, you rented the other side, and eventually you can flip it, grab everything, and be in a place that you're going to love because you're not in that endless revolving door
Correct.
and uncontrolled, nightly rentals that we know they just have their ups and downs, right?
Yes, it depends on who stays there, and is this the split model that you were talking about previously, where something about 80%? And can you tell us a little bit about that and see how do the owners get, do they have any headaches with that?
With La Union, because it's going to be residential, it's going to be your home. Most
Oh,
of our
okay.
retirees are buying there because eventually that's where they're going to move, and they don't want to live in a place that essentially is a hotel, but not a hotel experience because there's no control. So La Union is residential and it has the lockup for the purpose of somebody that says, I'm not ready to move. I'm 5 years away, 10 years away. So let me have the lockup for myself. I am going to rent the other side, but when I come, it's all mine. And I want community. I want that space to be mine, my home. Now,
I,
that doesn't mean that the district doesn't have an apart hotel, which is what you're talking about, La Central City Flats. That is
oh, I got it
full
confused, and my
on
bad.
short-term rental, nightly, but well done. That would be La Central City Flats.
I see. That's very, you guys put some thought into this, and kudos to you guys, because it seems like every building you guys put a lot of thought into it. And I keep going back to the community aspect because it's walkable. It seems like you can get to know a lot of the neighbors, and then in the future you can retire and live there. Let me ask you, which building has the best sunsets?
I like La Union on the plaza side because you're
Okay.
gonna get sunsets behind the mountain that is called Cerro Ancon. And pro tip, if you get early in the morning, you can actually walk to the mountain, to the tip of the mountain. It's gonna take you
Yeah.
an hour back and
Wow.
forth, but you can do it and see toucans in the morning. So
Wow.
I love the mountain, and the plaza side of La Union gets the
Uh-huh.
sunset.
Wow.
This is how we're going to deliver La Central City Flats. Now, La Central City Flats is an apart hotel. We're building it for the purpose of essentially being a hotel,
Okay.
apartments, but a hotel. What you're seeing here are high traffic finishes, hotel
Okay.
like furniture, so that it doesn't break. So it's made for the activity, it's made to keep everything sturdy. Everything changes every night. We're going to provide everything: towels, cups, professionally managed. This is a little bit of the restaurant. The management is going to be hotel style. So, no, this is not an Airbnb because you will have a hotel like experience. You will have a restaurant, you will have a receptionist, you will have a gym, again, a wellness area with a yoga and the saunas and plunge.
That's
I
neat.
will never use the cold plunge. You'll find my husband in the cold
And
plunge.
if you have all this and you still could potentially get a return of 6 or 8%,
Yeah, yeah,
did I
yeah.
read that correctly?
Absolutely. And this is what we found after we studied Casco Viejo, which is the strongest hold of hospitality rentals in the Ciudad Capital, in the capital.
Hmm.
Airbnbs, the traditional Airbnbs, don't get the premium. Hotels do because
Right.
people don't know where they're going. As a
Right.
good friend of mine told me, listen, if I go alone, maybe, I roll the dice and I get into an Airbnb and well, but if
Mhm.
I go with my wife, I cannot take risk or with family. I need
Yes.
to
Yes.
be in a place where I know things are going to work. They're not going to be dirty. I am going to have a staff that, like the code didn't work. No, no, I'm going to have a proper staff. And that's why
You have,
hotels get the
and the
premium.
safety
And
is in place, right? And sorry to cut you off, but it seems like you guys thought of everything to include the safety aspect
And it's
within
because
each
we've
building.
done everything, Hugo. We have done hotels, we have done apartments, we have sold apartments that ended up in Airbnb, and we have sold premium. We have done it all here. So we
Wow.
have the luxury of seeing in hindsight what worked, what didn't, and why. So all of these have embedded all of our lessons.
That's amazing. And can you tell us a little bit of like the conservatorios, how you guys provide calculators for the investors so that they can see? And also, has the project started, or where are you guys at on the
Yes.
project?
It's crazy. The demolition site. Oh my God. I need to get photos of this week. Every time we have the construction company sends us these aerial photos, they're
Uh-huh.
crazy. Now people are realizing the size. So we're starting
Yes.
now. We should get 1st of June is our official construction start. So I should
Okay.
be announcing now to all of our buyers 30 days before, a heads up and all of that. So we are scheduling the delivery of La Union and La Central City Flats around 2029. These dates always change. So I'm going to
Yes.
add an ish to that. But yes,
Uh-huh.
we also have built calculators because we're very big on people making their own decisions. We can give them
And that's
all the
important.
information we have, but people, only the client knows the client's situation and finances and all that.
Mhm.
So just give them the tools and information. They can do very well with those.
And I'm glad that you guys are doing that, because transparency is really an important, and it seems like it's very important for you guys as well.
Yes,
And
and this is the thing with the market. People just say whatever, and they come with unrealistic expectations. We have run
mhm.
hotels, we have seen hotels, I've seen the numbers behind the business, how much it costs to get to those results. So I like being realistic.
Well, how can they get into a project? Can you tell me a little bit about the financials? If somebody's interested that's watching this, how can they reserve a spot, or can you walk me through that?
Step one, call Hugo.
Okay. Okay.
Step two,
I like that.
you can reserve with 2,500 once we have gone through. And by the way, we're always available for a Zoom call to give presentations. 2,500 will take the unit out of the market for 15 days. And we
Okay.
normally would do all the contract, the comments, and everything during that time. Once you sign, you will sign with a 10%. And then you will see a calendar of payments. At this time, we're starting construction in June. So normally that's the time where we would get a second 10%. And then let's look at December as that third 10%. We can move, for example, that third section, but essentially what you're doing is that in a matter of a year, you're giving 30%. And that's it, because the rest is going to be upon delivery. So that would be 2029-ish.
Okay. So are there monthly payments in between
If you want,
from
we
the,
can schedule them, yes. This is
oh,
the
so they have that
basic.
option.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, some of our clients, they get paid in a different time frame because of the investments that they
Hmm.
have made, that they pay them in different times. So we can always accommodate that. And we understand that.
That's terrific, Patricia. And for $2,500, they can reserve it. That's amazing. And
Yeah. 15 days.
I'm going to be heading out there and taking some of my family and friends to take a look, and hopefully we get to write the family and friends, because I hear that it's amazing. The location, from what I've seen, from what I hear of other people, your location is it's on spot.
It's
Patricia,
going to transform the city. So I hope you do make it down here and see it.
yes, I'll be down there very, very soon. And thank you for sharing this project, and it's very thought out. I appreciate you being on the show, and so we can help others. And do you have any closing comments? How do they get a hold of you? How can they learn more?
Go to grancentralpanama.com
Okay,
and you will see that's our website. There's a landing page. You can fill out the information or contact us directly. There are many ways there to contact us, but grandcentralpanama.com is our website.
perfect. And some of the brochures that we have, are you okay if we give them to our clients and our customers, and we'll make them available for them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. And I hope they say that they come from this podcast
Yes, yes, yes.
and
We're
they
gonna
say,
tell them
Hugo
we're gonna
Calvillo.
yeah, so they can hit the QR code. But
Yes,
definitely
absolutely.
thank you for being on the show. I think you provided tremendous value for our viewers, and it's an exciting. I want to see these sunsets. They seem to be amazing over there.
Oh my God. I wish I could have had some photos of the sunset next time.
Yes, we'll take some. Well, thank you very much, Patricia. You have a great rest of your day, and we'll be in touch. For all you guys, feel free to just reach out to us. You can download some of the flyers, just put on the comments, and we'll be in touch. Thank you for another episode and sticking around and watching till the end. See you guys.